Hey, what's up guys, Sharp Tony here, and with all these pet classes in Anarchy Online, and by all I mean what, 3? It might be a little difficult for you to pick exactly which one you want, and how do you know which one does what? How do you know which pet is cooler? How do you know frickin' which one is gonna have your back when you get frickin' jumped by a gang of elites? How do you know? How do you know? Well, I'm gonna tell you how you know, because I'm gonna tell you right now what pet class does what, who has what pets, what specialties do they have, what buffs are they good for, whose mom looks the nicest. Let's get down to it. Let's start off with the Bureaucrat, because I'm already on my Bureaucrat. This is my 150 Bureaucrat that I tried to make for PvP, and then I decided to reset him because Anarchy Online said they were going to completely redo how aimed shot works. And you want to know what? They didn't, and I can't freaking get my dread pistol back on this guy. And freaking I don't have my aimed shot pistol, and now he's just a freaking piece of garbage. Let's stop now. Okay, what the Bureaucrat does is he makes these nice little assistant pets because his... I should probably buff so I can cast it. His role is pretty much figuring out why I can't cast this pet. A, and B, his other role... Freaking bullcrap. His other role is he's kind of the dictator. He's a ruler. He's a bureaucrat. And if you know what a bureaucrat is in real life, it's like a businessman. So he's the negotiator. And as the negotiator, if you don't like the way somebody talks to you, you don't want to know what you do? You silence them. And watch this. You don't like the way he's talking to you? We're going to calm him. What bureaucrats have the astounding... Stupid asshole. What bureaucrats have the astounding ability to do is calm tons of mobs. Say this thing wanted to attack me. Calm... Biatch, you are no longer an issue. And they also have area comms. See, I calmed both of these. I calmed freaking 3 things at the same time. And say I'm in a little trouble and I need to root somebody. I'll freaking root everybody. How about that? How's that sound? Oh, and then you still want to try and attack me? P.S. We get nukes. Pop you with rule of 1. You want to see how much damage that did? Let's see how much damage that did. Just for the ladies in the crowd. 2,400. Which is a lot. And in our research, is that Reed having an issue over there? Or is he going to shut his mouth? Okay. In our research, we actually get procs that add to our direct damage nano freaking thing. You could read. 100%. That's a lot. That is at least 2 more damage than it was going to do before. Also, we get some snares. And the thing I pretty much like the most is, say I want you. Not sexually. I really don't want that at all. Say I want another pet. Say I can't. Why am I having issues here? Am I out of range? See, I try not to have my chat box up, and then I also suck at this game a lot more than I thought. A27. What's it at? A20. You son of... I need to move my organization. I think I have another one here. Let's try this again. Cubicle Dweller. No, it's under PSI. And of course that's the only one I have. So that completely defeats the purpose of what I was just trying to do. Unless, can I swap? I guess I'll just swap. They also get incredible defense. We'll get that too. We'll get to that in a second. This is probably the most in-depth pet profession. But what I could do is target psychic is not below me. How about that? Now I have a pet. These are... He's my pet now. It may say he's attacking me, and I guess he is. The frick. He's supposed to be my pet. There we go. Now he's my pet. Now I have 2 pets. And bureaucrats could actually get up to 3 pets. 2 of them being calmed. One of them's a long-term... Or charmed, I'm sorry. One of them's a long-term charm. The other one's a short-term charm. But we also get... Look at all these initiative debuffs. I obviously have all of them. Let's test them out, and we're going to buff at the same time so you can see what buffs we get. We get aura buffs, which a lot of them, they could either benefit you or hurt the person you're trying to hurt. This one is probably one of my favorite buffs ever. Heroic measures. 100 add all off, 310 add all def, and it comes in a various range thing. There's a bunch of different ones. And we get pets. I'm not going to trim my pet right now because this is just a freaking video. But what I can do is debuff him so he hardly hurts me. Check this out. Well, obviously it hasn't even hit me yet, but look at all these negative initiatives he has. That is 530 minus initiatives. Plus, it stacks with all doctor debuffs, and it stacks with metaphysicist debuffs, so get at that. But then, when you really have an issue and you need to start cleaning up, when you need to clean house, the amount of damage that a Bureaucrat could put out is insane. And in terms of PvP, they are great. My record's not too good ever since I took the AS pistol off. Although I have more defense now, but not as great. Let's see if we can get that proc off. I'll go full offensive. Just for the sake of procking this mofo. Come on. No? But that, I think, is a basic enough overview. He's not hitting the guard. Normally the pet hits for more. And at higher levels, they actually get just 2 regular pets. And I'm lagging like crazy. You'll get a pet. Oh, there we go. 43-45. Get on my level. You'll get a pet like this, but he'll have a little sword thing. And then you can get Carlita Desposita, or you can get Carlo freaking whatever his last name is that I don't remember. So, there's the Bureaucrat. Next we'll move over to next we'll move over to the engineer, which tends to be a little simpler. You've seen it a lot of my engineer. Obviously, their pistols and their trade skillers, mostly. They get buffs for their reflects. They get aura buffs. Like, this is a reflect aura on top of my regular reflect. We also get AC buffs. We get AC auras. We get AC more, which if you're not in the United States, or I think just on the East Coast, you might not get that reference. Get some initiative buffs. And what I like is we get special attack blockers. Like, if you're PvPing and somebody's like, I'm going to hit you with full auto, aimed shot, burst, and fling shot, literally 0 of those will hit you. Or if you have this one, 3 of them will hit you, and then you'll get hit by 3 of them won't hit you. 1 of them will hit you, and then it recharges in 60 seconds, which is cool. We get some nice damage because they want engineers. Let me tell you something. Engineers, endgame, big damage, like a ton of it. So if you're looking for something that's going to push, pretty much all the pet classes do. I'm going in, I don't know if Bureaucrat or engineer does more. A lot of times I feel like it depends on who's playing, because engineers do not get nukes, but along with our AoEs, we could steal your reflect, and we could blind you, so you have to get a seeing eye. Predator M30, right? Yeah. And speaking of Predator M30s, I will now cast for you the 2 pets that engineers get at Borealis T-shirt. You can get the dog after level 100 and specialization 2. Gotta complete that. I'm pretty sure, obviously, I did because I'm casting the pet. 28 and 40, that's terrible. We can also buff trade skills. We're trade skillers by nature. Aatrox is generally not a good choice for an engineer. But anybody that's going to be an engineer will figure that out themselves. The other pets we get are robots, because as engineers, we like to make things. We like things to look like that. That's actually a robot doggy. He's not a real dog. And his name is Nocturne, which is actually a reference to the Tesseract song and the Human Abstract song. They're not the same song, but they're both named Nocturne. And in Kindler, because I am just so smart. And my barely high school education makes me have good names for things. Hey, Stab Killer. Hashtag shout out to Stab Killer. I don't know why I hashtagged that. Engineers are great in PvP at higher levels. In terms of perks, they do get Bio Cocoon, which is phenomenal, which means they get Bio Regrowth at higher levels, which means healing at higher levels, which means they're higher levels than most people. That actually, I have no clue what that means at all. I have no clue what I just said. We have this astounding ability to warp people to us. It's called the Beacon Warp, or the Team Beacon Warp. We could take people as long as they're on Rubica and bring them to us as long as we're on Rubica. As long as the zone is going to allow for some massive warp action going on. And the other cool thing, I'm going to show you in a couple seconds, is we could turn ourselves into something kind of cool. It's a higher level thing, but we could do it. Engineers could also be proficient with grenades. This was actually a grenade engineer until I decided I'm just gonna try 170 PvP, which I eventually tried. And look what I am! Look, we're buds now. Look, he's a little bigger than I am, but nobody can tell the difference. Actually, most people can tell the difference from standing next to him. So if you want to give the engineer a try, I'd say this was the second pet profession I made, and probably my second favorite, because they're pretty fun. Last, and certainly and most easily the best, he may not have the defensive perks and auras and comms that maybe your bureaucrat friend has. He may not have 2 attack pets, and he may not be able to charm a 3rd. He may not make robots, and he may not have bio-cocoon or reflex. And he may not have massive AR and probably a nice aorta. And, you know, just nice pistols. But he has the full package, in my opinion. We're talking about the Metaphysicist. And I know you guys have seen my Metaphysicist somewhere around in these videos. If you haven't, every single profession I've talked about, I have in other videos, and there is PvP with every single one of them in other videos. There might only be one with this Metaphysicist, actually, but it's probably a good one. Actually, there may be none. But let's start talking to you about the Metaphysicist. It's kind of, and when I say kind of, I use that term loosely, a mix of the other two. Because what we do get is we do get nukes, and we also get a nuke that will stun. I clicked the wrong one. That's the baby one. But we have the frost lines, and then we also have the mindquake kind of lines, which will also take away from your nano skills, which is very important. And another debuff we get that is incredibly phenomenal is we get nano shutdown. If minus 2,000 nano skills is not enough for you, then how about minus 3,000? How's that sound? But that's only for PvP pretty much. We do get initiative debuffs, not very big ones, but we also get damage debuffs. Where are they? Actually, I don't think I have any. That's okay though. What we do get is we get 3 pets. We cannot mez a pet, but we have a mez pet. And at higher levels, this pet, his name is Yidira, you dig? He could calm a mob. You could put him on a mob and just watch him calm a mob for as long as you want. You could walk away, go back, freaking go touch yourself in the shower real quick, and come back and play, and he's still going to be calming that mob. And then we have a heal pet. First one to level 14, I believe. I don't remember its name. Medinos is its name. Then it's Valentia, then Sanu, then Restite, then Curatem, then Bella Morti. I don't know how you pronounce their names. They all have really weird names, but they heal, and they heal efficiently. It's like having a little mini doctor, or maybe like a crappy adventurer. And in terms of pets, we get 3 different kinds of pets. We can get a testicle like one of these, and then you can be a tripod. We get different colored demons. Let's see what color. If you could see over here, we have a black one. We have, maybe that was a purple one. What color is Biazu? I don't know. But I like the green one because he looks kind of cool. But let's have the blue one because blue is an awesome color. And you could start at level 100. You could pretty much get your first demon if you're in decent gear. Because one thing we could do very well is buff our own skills. We get composite buffs, and then we get individual buffs. We get individual mockums that will add 140. It starts with teachings that add 25. Then you have masteries that add 50. And you have infuses that add 90. And mockums that add 140. So even at a low level, you can get massive, massive level pets with little to no issue. In terms of weapon support, we can make our own, and we make weapons like solar guards that add to your add all def, and they add a lot. Metaphysicists can actually get a ton of defense without having to have any auras up, which I think is pretty damn awesome. Or if you want, you could go bow if you don't want to make your own weapons. And luckily for us, we don't really have to do many stupid, useless quests. You can't see under his robe, I'm sorry. And also, we get nice perk support, because we can either, if we want damage, we can go for damage. And Soothing Spirits is actually a line of perks that adds to your pet's ability to heal. It doesn't say it on here, but if you are a Metaphysicist and you're trying to solo, make sure you max out Soothing Spirits. And Starfall is just big, big damage again. You get a perk here called Supernova that can do up to 7,400 damage with not too bad of a lockout, so that's pretty good. So let's kill this pet. I have 17 seconds until I could cast another one. And then I'll show you the 220 pet. I don't have a 220 Engineer or 220 Bureaucrat, and I don't think I ever will, to be honest. And along with some healing from our pet, we do have a little bit of perk heals. Not much. But then you bring this guy out, and it's like, who's going to mess with this guy? This green, jolly green giant looking motherfather. And if you want, you can make your Metaphysicist a trade skiller, because we do get some trade skill buffs, like this one that adds 92. But we get really good symbiont support for trade skills. And, excuse me, it's a freaking protein shake. And if you want a PvP, you have options. Unlike the other two classes, they have to be pretty much just pistol. You have two options as a Metaphysicist, which is literally both of those combined. You could go bow, and you can get massive aim shots off on people. Because there's a nano nowadays called Sacrificial Shield. You could sacrifice your pets and get blockers. And since you can cast them right away now, that is a phenomenal buff to have. So you mix Engineer, you mix Bureaucrat, and you get the Metaphysicist. And what's better than that? Probably a Martial Artist, actually. If you don't like pets, I would go with Martial Artist. But I hope that gives you all a little insight on the 3 pet classes. If there's any more questions, I tried to cover everything. I probably missed it, but you could ask in the description. I mean, I don't think you could do that. I don't think that's physically possible, but you could ask in the comments down below, and I will answer everything you guys want. You want my suggestion? Roll a Metaphysicist. None of the pet classes are cheap, but it is nice to have a little insight as to what you're getting yourself into with this. So, holla at your boy, though.